Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media Channel. So, as we head into the spooky season, guys, look, we're about mid-September right now. Depending on when I put this video out, I think it's going to be mid-September, but I'm going to be trying to throw out a few of these horror recommendation videos, whether it's from like certain specific boutique labels or just some random horror recommendations from my collection. Today, though, we're going to be focusing on Scream Factory and in particular their Blu-ray releases. So I've got 10 Blu-ray recommendations from the Scream Factory line. And I know you're thinking to yourself, Ken, this is Scream Factory we're talking about. You can't just go and recommend Blu-ray titles from Scream Factory. They're probably going to upgrade those to 4K at some point, right? Well, look, guys, look, I talk about 4K a lot on this channel, and one of the biggest gripes and criticisms I get is, Ken, you cover 4K too much. We want to talk about Blu-ray sometimes. Okay, like I see that in the comment section. And then there's some people, very few amount of people, that say I want to talk about DVDs as well. Like maybe I'll do some DVD recommendations as well. I may do that. I may do that. Honestly though, guys, when it comes to these 10 that I'm going to recommend today, these are Blu-rays that I have not. Some of these have upgrades. Some of these have 4Ks, but I'm going to try to convince you in this video why you're probably good just getting the Blu-ray. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. These are 10 Scream Factory Blu-rays that I have no intention of ever upgrading to 4K because I'm perfectly happy, I'm perfectly content with the Blu-ray edition that I have right here, and we're going to talk about that throughout the video. Like a lot of these are collector's editions, a lot of these had new features when they came out, and a lot of these are just really great editions that I'm just very satisfied with for these particular movies. Now, it's always possible that maybe another label picks up this movie. Maybe they give it a nice hard box release. Maybe they add like 4 or 5 new special features, but it has to be a substantial like upgrade in terms of like features and packaging for me to dip or on any of these. Like if Scream Factory just upgrades them to 4K like they usually do and doesn't add anything really in terms of new special features. Sometimes they do add new features. They do that. They do that. I will give them credit for that. But oftentimes they'll re-release stuff, they'll put it out there, they'll upgrade it to 4K. They won't add anything new. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, please. Also hit the like button. And then comment down below, guys, are there titles in your collection from Scream Factory that you have on Blu-ray that you just have no intention, you don't care if they announced it, maybe they've already announced it, to upgrade it to 4K? Also, what do you think of my picks? All right, let's talk about the first title that I'm going to recommend to you. And this has got 2 4K releases so far. I haven't purchased any of them because I bought this back in 2021. I reviewed it on the channel. And from memory, it was a fantastic Blu-ray with great picture quality. And that's David Cronenberg's The Dead Zone. And also, like, this commissioned artwork right here from Scream Factory is freaking spectacular. I got to look at the artist's name on the back. Hugh Fleming did the artwork here, and it's just spectacular. I love the artwork, and I mean, the original poster's great. It's iconic, it's classic, and that's on the 4K, and that's fine. And the steelbook looks really good too. And I'll be honest, like I thought about it because I was like, oh, I don't have the Dead Zone on 4K, maybe. And I really enjoy this movie a lot. This is a movie that I have not always liked a lot. But I've grown to kind of love it over time. I do think it's one of David Cronenberg's stronger films, and with a great Christopher Walken performance. So I enjoy the film. I would love to see, you know, a 4K of it to see how it improves on this Blu-ray. So I thought about getting the Steelbook, but the Steelbook's like $45, and it's just, I'm not shelling out $45 for these Scream Factory Steelbooks at this point. So the Dead Zone, like this one right here, it says a new 2020 scan, but I'm pretty sure this is a new 4K scan back in 2021. So this is a 4K scan on a Blu-ray, and it looks spectacular. It's got some great new special features as well. And I just remember being extremely satisfied with this Blu-ray. So I don't really feel the need. Like if I see the 4K go down to like 14 bucks and maybe on a whim I'll grab it or something. But as of right now, like I'm good with this Blu-ray. And this is a really good addition from Scream Factory. And I don't think that 4K they did added anything new in terms of special features. So I comfortably recommend the Dead Zone on Blu-ray, even though it has a 4K. You know, if you're not super into the 4K format, if you don't need to have everything on 4K, the Blu-ray is just fine. Next up, guys, my second pick is House of Wax. This one I kind of went back and forth on. And this is one that I like. If Arrow Video did a nice like hard box release of this or something, and they added a couple of new features in addition to the Screen Factory special features, I might bite on it. But if Screen Factory just did a straight 4K upgrade of House of Wax, I'm probably good, and I probably wouldn't get it. This, I think, I want to say this was a 2K scan, and I want to say it was a 2K scan from the inner positive. So I don't know if there was an issue with the original camera negative or what exactly was going on with this, but I think it was a 2K scan at least. I remember this looking great on Blu-ray. Like, I was so impressed with this, but I was also going for my DVD copy to this Blu-ray. So it looked phenomenal to me when I watched it, and there was some incredible detail. I could definitely see where a 4K could improve this. I could definitely see that. But I think for me, just where I'm at now in my collecting, I've got a great edition of House of Wax. This has all the features, the interview with Paris Hilton, which is a phenomenal interview. I believe you've got an interview with Joel Silver as well. The house built on wax, the visual effects of House of Wax. There's great features in this. There really was great features, and this was a spectacular edition. I also remember reviewing this. I think this came out like maybe the same month as the Dead Zone. I reviewed them both very, very closely, I think. But yeah, I just remember really liking this Blu-ray and just really thinking it was great. And if it got a 4K announcement, this would be one that I would just be like, I'm probably good with just the Blu-ray. And it's got a great slipcover as well. That artwork is freaking fantastic too. So that's House of Wax. And again, guys, look, like there's going to be people that's watching this who are like, no, Ken, that would look so great in 4K. I would absolutely get a 4K. And that's great. I'm just telling you where I'm at right now, okay? And I'm trying to give you all some good recommendations. And I'm trying to help some of y'all save a little money, okay? All right. Next up, guys, this just got a Blu-ray announcement in the UK, but it's got a great Blu-ray in the States. If you're living in the States and you haven't picked this one up yet, it's a Wes Craven film, and it's called Deadly Friend. So I know that there were some people that were like, why didn't Arrow upgrade it to 4K or whatever? This was a new 2K scan from the Inner Positive. I thought this looked fantastic. This was another one that came out. This one came out in the midst of all the Halloween 4Ks back in 2021, I remember. And it came out like right in the middle of all that. I remember watching like 2 of the Halloween 4Ks, then breaking to watch this, and then I went back to watch the Halloween 4Ks. But I had a hell of a time with this movie. I'd never seen the movie before, and I thought the Blu-ray looked phenomenal. So again, like this is an edition right here with a great slipcover, with great artwork, and it had fantastic interviews. You had an interview with Christy Swanson on this thing that was great. And you had an interview with the writer, Bruce Joel Rubin, composer Charles Bernstein. There was like 4 new features on here. And again, unless Screen Factory added like 3 new features, did some really cool stuff with some new artwork, or Arrow Video did a cool box set, which they're probably not going to do because they just released it on Blu-ray with just a slipcover. Like I'm good with this. Like I'm content with Deadly Friend. With the 2K scan on a Blu-ray, it looks really nice. It looks really nice. And how many more times? I enjoyed Deadly Friend. It's a lot of fun. How many more times am I going to watch Deadly Friend? I just don't know. I don't know. I think the Blu-ray with the 2K scan, great edition with great features, is just fine for me. Next up, guys, we've got 13 Ghosts. I'm going to be honest, like it's been probably, I want to say since 2020 since I watched this. I remember getting it like right when it came out because I saw this one in the theaters. I remember liking it a lot, and I was like, I want to revisit that. The Blu-ray looked great from memory. Like it looked absolutely phenomenal. I was like, when I was looking this up on Blu-ray.com to try to get some information about it, I was seeing where people were kind of lukewarm on this Blu-ray when it first came out. That was not my experience when I first watched it, but I do remember watching this on my plasma TV, 42-inch, and to me, like it looked really good on that TV. Now, how would it look on my OLED? I don't know because I haven't watched it on there. Maybe it wouldn't look as good on that, on my 4K TV. But as far as like how it looked on my plasma back in the day, I just remember the picture quality being very strong. But this is another one that it's kind of a theme in this video, I feel like. A lot of these are editions that were new in 2018, 2019, 2020 that I grabbed. It was like in the very beginning of me like collecting for Screen Factory. And, you know, I don't go all the way back with my collecting with Scream Factory to 2012, 2013, 2014 when they first started. A lot of people do, like they remember that era. So when all the 4K re-releases were getting announced of movies of that era, people were getting upset. They were like, I already got a great edition of that. But like I bought all those 4Ks because I didn't have all those past Blu-rays, and I thought those 4Ks were so good. But then they started coming out with these in 2019, 2020. A lot of these have 2K scans and new 4K scans. And to me, like I just remember them looking really great. And they have all the special features. This one has an interview with Shannon Elizabeth. They were getting all the old like teenage actresses, hot actresses come back to do these interviews back in the day. I feel like during this time, Christy Swanson, you had Denise Richards come back for Valentine, which is not in my pile because I love Valentine. I would upgrade that 100%. And then you got an interview with Shannon Elizabeth here, also Paris Hilton. So they were like killing it doing all these actress interviews around this time. But you got an audio commentary here, a bunch of new interviews, and this is just a really phenomenal edition. And again, I remember this looking like really good on Blu-ray. Now, could it look better on 4K? Maybe it could, and it's possible maybe I get it. But again, they got to do something substantial with the release as far as the upgrade. It's just like the movies that were coming out during this time period, I feel like are too new for me to jump into a higher format just like 3 or 4 years later, just for the format itself. When a very nice edition right here of 13 Ghosts is sitting right in front of me, and I've got it, and I can watch it anytime I want to. All right, so there's 13 Ghosts. But that's a great edition, though. These are all like great recommendations, guys. Like all bunch of new features with them and just really fun horror films. Next up, we've got Silent Hill. I'm going to be honest, I don't love this movie. I have tried with this film. I've tried 3 times. And always I come away with the same impression. The first half of the film is great. It's very atmospheric. It feels very in line with the games. I was a big fan of the games, in particular Silent Hill 2. And Silent Hill 3 was incredible as well. But like this movie to me, like the first half, I remember seeing it in the theaters, it feels very Silent Hill. It captures the atmosphere perfectly of the games. And then it just flies off the rails and becomes something else. And like what it becomes after that, like I'm just not a huge fan of the second half of this movie, and it gets me every time. That being said, like this is another like really great Blu-ray edition with really great artwork. I bought this one when it came out because again, I was trying to get into it again. And it's got great interviews. You got a new from Silent Hill with Love, an interview with director Christopher Gaines. I think this is a 2-disc edition as well. I think they had so many new special features with this one, they had to have an entire disc of new special features. So you have that new interview with the director. You got new Monster Man, an interview with special effects artist Paul Jones. New A Tale of Joe Dallas, an interview with actress Jodelle Ferdland. So the actress in the film came back. Dance of the Pyramid, an interview with actor Roberto Campanella. So yeah, and then you got Path of Darkness, the making of Silent Hill, a 6-part look at the making of the film. I don't know if that was new or not. Maybe it was new to this release right here, but this was an incredible release, and it had all these new special features. And this is another one that, you know, kind of has some questionable, wonky CGI, especially when you get to the second half of the film, that I don't know if 4K would do any favors. So that's kind of another reason why I feel like I would just be good with the Blu-ray on this one. And I feel like you guys would be good with the Blu-ray as well. Again, I don't think any of these, since we talked about the Dead Zone, have 4Ks. That might be the only one that we're going to talk about that even has a 4K, what was the Dead Zone. So the rest of these just have Blu-rays. They don't even have 4K. They could possibly never have 4Ks. But again, I just want to make it clear that it's very possible that all these could be upgraded to 4K at some point. I just think that if you get these Blu-ray editions, they're great, and I think you'll be fine with them. But Silent Hill, it's an okay movie. I may try again at some point to check that one out. But the edition is great from Scream Factory on Blu-ray. Then we've got Ghost Ship. This is another film. It came out around 2002, like that era. I just remember I was going to the theaters, seeing all these movies during that time, and some of them hit, some of them didn't. I remember really liking Ghost Ship a lot. I remember renting this one too on VHS after it came out, after I saw it in the theaters. The opening scene is like spectacular. After that, the movie doesn't age the best, but it still has a really good atmosphere to it. I think it's a really good like atmospheric ghost story, and I do enjoy the movie. But again, this is an edition that came out. I think it had a 2K scan, and I just remember it looking really good. Again, like maybe I need to go back and revisit these ones, and maybe I would think they didn't look great anymore. But I can't imagine myself like double dipping on Ghost Ship to upgrade it to 4K with all the same special features. Like, to me, this is the perfect definitive edition of Ghost Ship in my collection. Next up, guys, I'm going to recommend Pet Sematary 2, which I really enjoy Pet Sematary 2 a lot. It is not as good as the first one. Not even close. It's a completely different tone. It's very goofy. But this one does have a new 4K scan of the original camera negative. It had some really good special features. It had a new audio commentary with director Mary Lambert. It had a new interview with actor Edward Furlong. And yeah, just some really good stuff on this release. And this is one that, again, it's got a 4K scan, so it's very possible they will upgrade this one to 4K. You know, Screen Factory. But I'm fine with this 4K scan on a Blu-ray. I thought this looked great when I watched it, and probably better than a film like Pet Sematary 2 ever deserves to look. Honestly. So yeah, they'll definitely do a 4K of this one. I can just see it. But for me, I'm happy with this Blu-ray, and I think you guys would be happy with this Blu-ray as well. And again, I don't know what the prices for all these are now, but I'm pretty sure like Pet Sematary 2 on Blu-ray was going for like 14 bucks recently in an Amazon sale. So maybe wait for a sale. It might be over 20 bucks right now. But wait for one of those Screen Factory sales. Love is in the Scare, or what we'll be getting Shocktober soon. We'll be getting Shocktober. So a lot of these may show up in the Shocktober sale for maybe like $15, $16. And some of them maybe $11, $12 to get some of these editions. And again, I think they're totally worth it for what they are. If you want to wait for the $30, $35, maybe $40 4K editions in a year, 2 years, you can do that. But again, I think that these Blu-rays are just great editions, and I think they're worth picking up right now. Pet Sematary 2 is definitely one of those. Next up, guys, this one came out in 2022, and this came out in a time when I thought that Screen Factory was just done with Blu-ray editions. They were doing like all 4Ks at that point, but they put out Wes Craven's Cursed in 2022, and this was a 4K scan of the original camera negative. This is one that they've done so recently because they were like full on into 4K at this point. I don't think that they'll go back and do this one in 4K. I don't think that they will. But I remember this looking so damn good on Blu-ray. Like, this 4K scan on a Blu-ray was phenomenal. Like, honestly, when I was watching, I was like, this might as well be 4K because it looks that damn good. This is another film that's got some questionable CGI with the werewolf stuff. They should have just went all practical because the movie's not bad. I enjoy the film. I think it kind of gets a bad rap. It is kind of a Scream era, like slasher type movie just with werewolves. But I like it for that. Like, I like that 2000s, 90s, early 2000s kind of, horror slasher charm that it brings. And it's got a great cast with Jesse Eisenberg, Christina Ricci. It's got great people in this movie. That Joshua Jackson is in this film. So the whole like 90s gang is in this movie. It's a fun movie. I enjoy the film. It's just that they did the practical effects and then they went over that with CGI. I think that was the studio's decision to do that, and they ruined the film because of that for a lot of people. I think I can still enjoy it. But anyway, this is a movie that this 4K scan on a Blu-ray, it's perfect. It looks great. This has all kinds of new features, and this is honestly, I think, the best that this movie's going to get. And I think it's totally worth it to get this on Blu-ray. 100%. Next up, we're going to throw out a Christmas horror movie, guys, to kind of bring us past the spooky season into the Christmas season. But Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, there's really no point to ever get this one on 4K. Half of the movie is like low grade quality shots from the first film. So like there's really no reason for this to ever get upgraded to 4K. Yeah, there's some new stuff with Eric Freeman and the whole Garbage Day thing. I mean, maybe that will look great in 4K when he's prowling through the subdivision and stuff like, but beyond that, like, this is a movie that really doesn't ever need to come to 4K, and this is probably the best that you could ever hope to get for Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. That being said, I do enjoy the film. I like the twist on, just bringing in the stuff from the first film, but also just kind of recontextualizing stuff, and, with the brother and kind of showing where he's at. And it is kind of its own movie and its own story there. But again, it just has a lot of stuff from the first one as well. So I enjoy the movie, and it's kind of ridiculous, and it's kind of ridiculousness. I enjoy that. But this has got all kinds of great features. Like, sometimes when it comes to these really bad horror movies, like, the features can really like elevate the edition, elevate the movie itself, and the features can be more interesting and better than the actual movie sometimes. So that's why it's interesting to go back and watch these movies and their special features and just kind of learn about them. But this has got new sleigh bells ring again, the story of Silent Night Deadly Night 2, featuring interviews with co-writer director Lee Harry, actors Eric Freeman. So that's a whole documentary on Silent Night Deadly Night 2. Then you got New Garbage Days are here again a look at the film's locations. New Ricky Today, a short film featuring 2018 interview with Ricky Caldwell. New I Don't Sleep, an extended interview with makeup effects artist Christopher Bigg. So this thing is stacked. It's fully loaded with special features. Like the movie itself, not great, but like all of these stuff that they put into this, all the supplemental material makes it worth it in my opinion. And again, this is a movie that doesn't ever need to see 4K. So like you're perfectly fine getting this on Blu-ray. And lastly, guys, look, I'm going to be honest, this movie's kind of bad and maybe it's not even really a recommendation, but it is one in my collection that I certainly will never think to ever upgrade to 4K. I am glad I have it because it's a part of a franchise and I like to have the complete franchises, but Night of the Demons 3 is a bad movie. It's a very bad sequel, but also it is a movie that I understand completely why Scream Factory, when they released this, they did not upgrade this one to 4K like they did the first one, because there's some really wild and crazy effects work in this. There are parts of this movie that feel like PS1 era graphics, because I think this was late 90s when this one came out. Yeah, 1997. So there's like, you can see it on the back right there. Like PS1 N64 era graphics in this movie that would just look absolutely horrendous on 4K. So yeah, you don't ever need to see this one in 4K. Like, do I recommend the film? I mean, the movies, if you like really bad, schlocky, 90s, cheesy as hell horror films, you may find some enjoyment here. Like Night of the Demons 2, like that, I actually think would benefit from a 4K upgrade, but this 100% would not. It is a really good addition, though. It's got some great new special features in it that just talking about the movie and how it performed and how people, received it when it came out. A lot of good stuff there. Like I said, sometimes with these really bad movies, the special features can elevate the material. So it was a really good addition. Just be warned, like going into it. I think the first two Night of the Demons are really fun and like legitimately good B horror films. This one is not. But, if you got the first two, you got to get the third one, right? So yeah, Night of the Demons 3 doesn't ever need to come to 4K, so I feel perfectly comfortable recommending just the Blu-ray edition of that. And I don't think it ever will come to 4K either. But there you have it, guys. That is my Scream Factory Blu-ray recommendations. Titles that you'll never need to upgrade to 4K because the Blu-ray editions are so good. That's what I'm going to title this, guys. But thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.